In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what I would do if I had to start my Amazon business all over again from zero. The exact steps I'd take, the tools I'd use, and the brands I would ungate first to get profitable as fast as possible. First thing, right off the bat, that is pretty self-explanatory, but definitely has to happen. You need your Amazon Seller Central account. Don't go for this individual plan right here. Go for the professional $39.99 a month. I've discussed it in other videos, but just in case this is the first one that you're watching of mine, if you sell over 40 items a month, you're going to pay $39.99 or more. So you're definitely going to do more than 1 or 2 units in a day selling wise. So this is definitely the best plan to go for. Once you get that all set up, you can do it under your personal name and everything first. You don't need a company right away to open this up. It's up to you if you want to do that. You can always change it in the future. But for a different step 4, we're going to need a company anyway. So it just depends on how fast you want to get things open. But you don't need this account technically until you're ready to sell products, like send stuff in. You could source products, purchase them without your Amazon Seller Central account. So if you want to wait for the company to be opened, then go ahead and do it that way. Step 2, SellerAmp. This is how we're going to calculate all of our profits and get that stuff done. You're going to probably want to go for this Getting Serious plan because you are going to get unlimited lookups per month here rather than 1,000. So depends on how many products you're going to be looking up every single month, but you can do the math on that. Just divide 1,000 by 30, see how many per day. If you're going to get over that, then definitely pay the extra $10 a month. You could always start out with this one, see if you can make it work, and then upgrade at any time. Completely up to you. Step 3, Keepa. We need this to analyze our product price history, offer history, and all of the analytics to do with the products outside of the financial aspect. This is 19 euros a month. It is going to be probably $20 to $21 a month US, depending on the current exchange rate. It does fluctuate a little bit, but I don't think I've ever paid over like $22 for this in a month. So those are the basics. That is really all that you need to actually get started. Now, when it comes to buying products, which if I had to start all over, I would do it a little bit differently than what I did because I went for the American Express Platinum and the Gold card as my first 2 cards. I paid about $1,000 in annual fees within the first month, and that is a little bit out of some people's budgets. And I didn't know about these 2 cards at the time. Also, the Platinum and the Gold card were running 0% interest promotions for the first year. So that is something that's very different than now. Times have changed. They don't run those promotions very often at all anymore. The Gold has one every so often, but the Platinum, I haven't seen it since I signed up. I check all the time, never seen it come back since then. Both of these are going to be pretty much the exact same card, just one's cashback, one's points. $0 annual fee, 0% interest for 12 months, and they do have limits. So depending on your personal credit score, you may get a lower versus a higher limit. But the good thing about American Express, every single card, they don't do a hard pull on your credit score. They do look at your score, but it doesn't show up as an inquiry, so it doesn't drop your score at all, affect your personal credit score. You will need a company to open these up, or at least an EIN number attached to a sole proprietor. So it depends on if you want that separation of personal and business. Everybody has their own preference, but I would recommend definitely opening up a company. So once we have all that stuff opened, we're going to need to start looking for products. When you're looking at products, you're going to be gated in pretty much every brand that you come across in the beginning. It's just very common for that to happen. So you're going to need to ungate certain brands that you want to sell. Depending on what category you want to get into, there will be different brands and different suppliers for that. But 3 basic good brands that do a lot of units per month, have really good opportunity to make money in, and also always have affordable buy costs that you can make the margins really easily in because they're always running promos and sales, are going to be Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, and Gap. Those are 3 basic starter brands that everybody should start selling at some point. So I found actual products that you can use to ungate these brands if you want to. I just came to Kohl's and I searched for a Calvin Klein brand, sorted from high to low, and I'm going to give you 3 products, 1 per each brand, of these that you can use. And these ones up here, you might think go with these because they're the cheapest, but they're random products that just are single one-offs and they're not on Amazon, unfortunately. So this is one that you can take right here, and we can go ahead and see that it did pull up here. So all I did was highlight this title, right click it. When you have the SellerAmp extension installed, you'll see this pop up in your right click menu that wasn't there before you had the extension, and it will pull up all of these different results pertaining to the title that you highlighted because it threw it up into this box right here. This is that product. So if I open this up, we'll see that this is the exact product there. And we can go ahead and just open this up, check what it is. So we've got small, medium, large, extra large here. This pulled up as a medium. We could do any of them realistically, but we've got in stock, we can throw 10 in there. Oh, there's actually only 3 available. So that's why you want to check that. We can check the other ones and see, can we get 10? Yes, we can get 10 of the smalls. So we can go here, throw in small, and then this is the ASIN that we would ungate with. So when you're doing ungates, you can go through Amazon Seller Central, or when you scroll down here and you're logged into your Amazon account, your Seller Central account, it will show up and say you need to request approval, manual approval. And you'll just click on that button. It'll bring you to the apply page. Have a whole video on how to go through that ungating process in detail. So go check that out if you want to know how to actually do the process. But Kohl's will give you an email confirmation you can try submitting. They'll also throw an invoice inside of your package. If for whatever reason it's not in the package, sometimes it will be on the back side of the shipping label. There will be a place to rip that off, and it will have a physically printed out invoice on there. So try both, see what happens. If you don't get accepted right away, don't worry about it. You're not going to have to worry about not ever getting it. Just keep submitting. I've seen people go for a month submitting the same thing every day, and then on day 30 they get it. Sometimes it's taken longer than that. Sometimes it takes even quicker than that. So don't worry about any of that stuff. Everybody always asks, I keep getting denials and denials and denials. Just keep doing it. If you get auto denials, you'll have to go through the case in Amazon. They'll give you a link and say, respond in this case, don't submit anymore. Keep responding back to that case, submitting the documents. If you're not getting anything off just the invoice, attach the shipping confirmation when your order was shipped with the tracking number in there. Show on whether it's UPS, USPS, FedEx, whatever it is, their website. Take a screenshot of their website showing delivered. Also get the proof of delivery. Attach that kind of stuff. Maybe even a credit card statement showing the charge matching on the invoice to your credit card. Print out the statement or get a PDF of it, so that way they can see your name and everything matches on there. Just attach as much information as you possibly can, and you will get approved. Tommy Hilfiger. There is a product right in here that we can search up, do the same thing here, and we'll see that it does pop up here. It is that logo, but it's not that color. So we'll just have to come in here, see if the color is available. It is available, and we can go ahead and use that product here. Now, you will notice that that is the exact same price on Kohl's that it is on the sale price here. Does not matter. You're not trying to sell this product. You're just trying to unlock the brand with this product, because all you need is one item that's attached to the brand by Tommy Hilfiger right here. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a pair of socks. It could be a shirt, pants, shorts, anything. One item attached to the brand unlocks the entire brand. You don't have to do each individual product, do an ungate for that. And that's also why I'm not even looking at the Keepa charts here, because if we looked at this chart when we were trying to sell products, we would just instantly skip past this, because for one, offer count sucks. It's just moving so slow. And then up here, Amazon's all over it. So you're not going to get anything from that. So that is the idea. We don't care what the charts look like. We don't care what the profit looks like. We're going to buy these, get it ungated, and return the item. And the good thing about Kohl's is they have a 180-day return policy. So you don't have to worry about your application getting accepted within 30 days so you can send it back, get your refund. You could take 6 months if needed. It's not going to take that long, but you can return things for up to 6 months from date of purchase. So don't worry about getting stuck with any inventory if you go through Kohl's. The third one is going to be something that I talked about in one of my previous videos. We found a lot of these products profitable, just this one, different sizes, colors, all that kind of stuff. And this is a perfect one to use. That's why I'm not going through the website. I just know that this is already on there, and maybe you saw my video for it and you remember it. If you haven't seen that video though, and you want some products to potentially invest in and get the ball rolling, go check that out. I did a $500 in 30 minutes sourcing challenge, $500 profit, and actually was able to do it off of a lot of Gap products. So that goes to show that it is a good brand and you can make a lot of money in it. I recommend to all of the students that I have to go through and run through Gap and Tommy Hilfiger and Calvin Klein as well. So you guys are getting some free sauce in here. But this is that product here, same color, all sizes. The only issue with Gap Factory is you can only order 5 at once. So you're going to have to place 2 orders of 5 and then just submit the invoices together. Put them all in one PDF and submit that together. That is something that you can always do. It is a way, in case you were curious, to get past those 100-unit ungates that some brands are putting out now. Sometimes instead of 10, you need 100. And what you do with that is just, if it was Kohl's, you could probably get maybe 30 or 40 or something at once. So you'd only have to do a couple orders. But on Gap, you'd have to do 20 orders of 5 units of the same product, attach 20 different invoices together, and that is 100 of the same product. It doesn't matter how many purchases it takes to get to that number, as long as you have the total number. So in case you see those, do it that way. But now that we have all of these products and we have ungated brands, we're going to need to know how to find different products. And to do that, you can come to any product, doesn't matter what it is. We're going to use this one as an example here. We're going to scroll down in SellerAmp and we're going to find this list of offers down here, which is going to have all of the different sellers in it that are currently selling this product. We can see Amazon is on this one, and we've got an FBM person here and then 2 FBAs here. I personally don't look at any FBM stores because when we can go down here, we can see the same kind of calculator as what we had up above, where it's got the cost price, sale price, and then we've got our fulfillment type here, and it says FBA because that is how we're going to send in products. We're not going to ship them out ourselves. So because of that, we've got a $982 profit here, and our max cost is $581. If I was to click on this switch, it's going to switch over to merchant fulfilled, and we're going to see that this box changed along with the profit and the max cost here, because when we have our FBM prices for shipping, say we have a $4 shipping cost, it's going to be a lot higher here rather than that. So say we just had like a $10 buy cost in here, then our margin is going to be 25.9% ROI. If I flip it to FBA, it's going to be negative 1.8% ROI. So that is a very big difference. And depending on the shipping rates that these guys are getting here, they could potentially sell at a lower price than us or source at a higher cost than us. So we don't want to look through their stores all the time because of that. It's going to be harder to find a lot of products that they have at the same profitable price as we need them. The other thing with this is I personally wouldn't go for anybody that doesn't have reviews. Usually you'd want to see at least like 20 to 30 reviews in here. Obviously, the higher amount of reviews, the longer time a seller has been around for. It is really hard to get reviews on Amazon, but since this is the only option here that has any, we're just going to open up this storefront right here. And we're going to see that we've got the store name here, number of reviews, number of ASINs in here, all the different brands that they have. It's not every single one, but it's the most popular brands, as we can see top brands here, and then top categories. We could sort by category if we wanted to, but since we're on Gap, we're just going to stick with Gap here. We're going to have our criteria, which is going to be mainly BSR, is Amazon on the listing and potentially number of competitors if you want to stay away from really overcrowded listings because you just want to get your foot in the door and make sure that you can get what you're getting. You might have a criteria for that, maybe 25, 30, 40, something around that range is a good starting point. So we're just going to roll through this list and we're going to skip these, even though they have good BSR. Under 150,000 is pretty good. Sometimes you can go over that depending on what the offer count looks like, but that's a pretty good benchmark, 150K. And so these do meet the BSR criteria here. They do meet the offer limit, but they all have Amazon on them. So we're going to skip past that. Same thing goes for this one right here. Good BSR, insanely low, but Amazon, you can see here all over this listing. This is a mini version of the Keepa chart. So we've got two right here that we're going to go ahead and open up. And we're going to check out what these look like here. So we've got a pretty decent looking Keepa chart. Amazon has been in and out here. Great offer count movement. This spike going up here or trending upwards could be relayed to the offer count dropping down here. So that is a little bit of something to pay attention to. But depends on how profitable we are also. So we can go ahead and click this Google button that's going to search this product for us, and this is that product right here. So we can see that this is a medium and it is the navy with the pink there. So navy with the pink, and we've got medium. So we have that here. So it's $19.99, which we can throw in, and it's definitely going to be negative right off the bat. We need a max cost of $11.39 there. So something with Gap is going to be that they have a 20% off email, text, and code sign up for your emails and phones there. And so because of that, we can assume negative 20%. So we're going to throw in minus 20%, which is getting us closer. Then something else that you want to pay attention to is going to be getting Capital One shopping here, because there are some codes in here that we could potentially use. So if some of these do work, then we'll want to try these out in the checkout and everything. 5%, this is not going to be applicable, I'm assuming, just because this has exhaust header pipes, which is not a clothing item. So we can try those out when you go to checkout. 5% isn't going to do much there. Just kind of depends on what shows up and what doesn't. But how we're going to make our additional margin is going to be coming over to CardBear. This is where you're going to buy discounted gift cards. And we can see here that we've got 20% off right here. We've got 19, 18, 18, 17. So 20% off additional right there. So we've got 20% off right there, and we're very close. We're about 5% off there. 26.60 is going to be 20%. Now, this is only one unit here. So depends on if you want to take the chance on this or not, because when this guy sells out, this is going to be the lowest offer FBM. We don't need to compete with FBM guys because we're going to have prime shipping. They're not. And customers are going to pay the extra $1.10 on the price difference here, or maybe $2.10 to here to get the item next day, 2 day, something like that. So if we throw in, by clicking this, it adds it to our sale price. Now we're up 35% right there. If we get it at this price, we're up to 42%. So depends on if you want to order this. If price doesn't go up, then return it. You can always do that. Or just wait it out, see what happens in the next couple of days, then order your order there. So at that price, we've got 42% ROI there. Good product if we can get it at that price on the sale price end there. The next one that we've got is, let's check out the Keepa chart. Pretty decent. We've got some really good offer count movement going on in here. A little bit of a spike going upwards, but price didn't really drop pertaining to that. Usually when you see something like this, price tends to tank a little bit Like I would expect to see this kind of drop when this has gone up by pretty much 100%, a little bit less than that, but it only moved $1. So that's not too big of a concern there. So let's go ahead and see if we can find this one. And it is this product that's going to be right here. So we've got the same things. We've got that 20% off email coupon, because if you have your catch-all email set up, you'll be able to get unlimited coupons. And so we've got $19.99 here. The only thing that I do want to mention also, you can see that that BSR is at 159,000, and it's a little bit over our criteria 150 benchmark, but it has been fluctuating up and down between that for the last 3 months. So it's not too big of a concern on that side, just to be a little bit over, because the offer count is moving really well down here. So the product is still selling. It's not like it's a dead product. Our final cost after that, basically 40% off there, $12.79, 35% ROI, and $4.50 profit. And that is at our current $28.98, but $28.99 is what it says. So we got 1 penny extra on the profit side there. And with this, probably going to be sticking around that price for a little bit, just because there are a lot of offers in there. So there is a potential that these guys will drop a little bit down to meet them. Never can predict that kind of stuff though. But since we have 35% ROI, we've got some room to move, even if price does drop from this a little bit, which is always a good thing. You always want to have a little bit of room over your 25% margin or ROI criteria, just in case price does drop. You don't want to instantly be in the negative underneath that, not negative like -0, but underneath your minimum right off the jump, because then it's hard to kind of go up from there in every single situation. It does happen every so often, but you just don't want to have to run into that kind of stuff. So the first 2 products that we looked at were profitable. The next step would just to be go through this entire list, click on load more, run through these, check this one here, this one here, this one, and just run through all of these and just repeat the process. That is exactly what I would be doing if I had to start over from 0. It really is that simple. Just look at the charts, make sure everything checks out, find the product, apply your coupon codes and your discounted gift cards, purchase the product, repeat the process. If you guys have any questions about anything I went over in this video, or there's any specific videos that would help you guys out, leave a comment down below. There's also a link in the description for anybody who wants my help either starting or growing their Amazon business. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.